Hello everyone, Cheek here with another Transformers review, and today I will be reviewing the Transformers Kingdom Warfare Cybertron Trilogy Airazor. And as you can see, she is a hawk. A red-tailed hawk, I do believe. I'm not exactly sure which hawk she's supposed to be, but as you can see, this is her robot mode, bird mode. Nice nice artistic depiction of her. There is the Nemesis, it looks like. Doesn't look like the Ark. And then she's deluxe class, and and then on this side, the obligatory standard artwork that all the boxes have, and Tigertron, which is her, I wouldn't say mate, maybe spark mate, if that term is acceptable to a lot of people here, maybe not. Anyway, they were very close, and they actually became fused, which makes me wonder if they're going to make another figure that has both of them fused, because I'm probably going to make a slight remold or retool of Cheetor to make Tigertron. And to be fair, Tigertron, Cheetor is really cool. I kind of liked his character, but Tigertron, I really love the character of Tigertron and Airazor. Those were two of my favorite characters, and I'm so happy that they actually made an update to her, although I never had the original one, because I watched the show like a long time after it actually originally aired, because, I wasn't around when it first came out. Anyway, let's go ahead and get her out of the box. And from what I've seen the original toy, it's kind of different. Definitely different, not necessarily accurate to the character. Warning, do not eat anything in this box. Let's see, she does have her little guns / missiles or whatever they are. Her guns, her weapons. Anyway. And as you can see, they are gray plastic, painted gold. That'd be better than gold plastic, because Beast Wars. If anyone remembers some of the toys, I did get a couple of them, and I was sad when they broke because they had gold plastic. Gold plastic does not age well. It is very brittle. I'm not sure why, but so, yeah, gray plastic, painted gold, so it'll probably last a bit longer. And as you can see, there's the bird feet. Let's go ahead and get her second gun out. And there we go. Second gun, 2 guns, ready to go. Set those off to the side. Let's go ahead and get Airazor herself out of her packaging. Yeah. And once more. Yeah. Oh, and one last thing before I forget, like I almost did last time. Kingdom Warfare Cybertron Trilogy Collector Sticker Card, and this one is Optimus Prime, yet again, with a skull at his feet. And, looks like he might be leading the Maximals, which I really hope he doesn't, because Netflix Optimus is kind of a mess. And no offense to those that might actually like that version of Optimus, but I feel like he's just kind of a loser, like a real big loser. I mean, Optimus always be one to fight, and there's need for fighting, and this Optimus just seems to be like so scared of any violence and confrontation. Well, like, he has no problem killing regular Decepticons, and when it comes to Megatron, like, even if it's to the detriment of everyone, he just can't bring himself to kill him. And I think I've already lamented about this in the past, like how he stole the Matrix from Optimus. That's why I was like half wondering if the Matrix was going to be included in that Netflix Optimus that I got, because Megatron stole it from him. So yeah, I wasn't sure if they would include it. Anyway, enough about that. And there goes her gun. I'll be right back. Anyway, got her gun back, and I just really hope that this new Optimus, the Netflix Optimus that no one really seems to like, does not ruin it for all the Maximals, Predacons. Well, Predacons would probably have sort of a line as the Decepticons anyway. I just hope he does not ruin the show more than he already has. Alright, there's Airazor. There is her accessories. You can also have her wings out if you like. There you go, how to transform her into her bird mode. And there she is in her hawk mode. Alright, so as we can see, let's go ahead and take a look at her in her robot mode before we even consider transforming her. Let's first off show off her accessories. You can put her guns on her forearms to make them like wrist-mounted launchers. I'm pretty sure that those shot out. I really can't remember because it's been a little while since I've watched Beast Wars. Really want to watch it again, especially with the... I'm probably definitely going to watch it again after Netflix probably butchers the Kingdom storyline. I mean, the toys are awesome. Don't get me wrong, I love the toys, but I just wish they would make an appropriate show to go with it. And speaking of the show, I really hope that they can get some of the original Beast Wars actors to do the voices. But then again, they might not want to do the voices if it's such a horrible storyline or script. Whatever, I don't know. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to have some of the original voice actors to do the characters. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at that noggin of hers. As you can see, she's got black eyes with green pupils, which her eyes look more like actual eyes than some of the other figures that I've seen recently. Gold for her forehead, and then like a bronze or copper for her the sides of her face and her crest. Then the tannish feather colors for the rest of her head, and her head can do a full 360, is on a ball joint, can look up that far, down that far, and does have a little bit of wiggly waggly there. And her arms, they can go out that far. They would be able to do the full 360 if it wasn't for her wings. And her arms, just a little over 90-degree bend at the elbow. They can't bend back any further than that, and she does not have a wrist swivel, but she does have an extra joint at the wrist for bending, but I do believe that is for transformation and not for robot mode articulation. And then she does have full 360 rotation at her hips or waist, and then can do over the full splits. Legs can go forward that far. Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah, very far. Can go back this far, could go back further if it wasn't for her wings getting in the way. So let's go ahead and spread out her wings just to see about how far. Maybe move her tail feathers up, and they can go back that far, but with everything closed up, can't really go all that far back. Yep, and then very good bend at the knee. Not really any bend the other direction on the knees. She does have knee rotation, which would be the thigh rotation, but it's just lower down. And then another joint on the shin, but that's also for bird mode articulation and transformation. And then her feet do have a little bit of tiltage and all that swivel. They can turn around because, bird feet. And they are on a ball joint, so she does have ankle tiltage, but maybe not to the degree that some of her other companions have. Now, I'll go ahead and get her transformed. Alright, one thing that I did fail to realize or notice, the wings were kind of messy looking anyway earlier, but the way that they're supposed to be in robot mode is like this. So I'm not sure exactly how they had her in the box, but it was more disorganized, but some of them, I don't know. But anyway, what you want to do to get them like this is you just get it folded up to where this tabs into here like that, and do it on both sides. And then you can also, you can have them up like this if you want to have her flying, or just have them down, for her just walking around normally in her robot mode. Another thing that you can do, you don't have to obviously, and it doesn't really mention it in the instructions except for bird mode, is you can also put these on her thighs. And I think that also looks cool for robot mode if she's not actively using her weapons, although that would be assuming that is more meant for her hands like this. If it's more like a handgun, it makes more sense also that they might also go on her hips. But yeah, just plug them in like that, and it looks pretty cool too, I think. But she looks a little more like a gunslinger when you put them there. That's also a place you can store them if you don't want to have them on her arms, and you don't want to, just have them sitting wherever. But anyway, to get her transformed, you want to go ahead and just disconnect the wings from there like that. And as you can see, they're already pretty much in the bird mode configuration. As you can see, they are definitely pretty articulated, and you can get a nice bend rather than just, you know, it looks more dynamic. It's more curved and more natural looking than just having like a couple, like one hinge or something that I think some of the other, not necessarily birds specifically, but like pterodactyls and all that, they just don't have as many hinges on their wings, so they are a little harder to pose in a way that looks good. And what you want to do is you want to, although the instructions just say kind of like pulling it up or pulling it down, is that you want to hinge. Let's see if I can move the wings out of the way, but see this orange hinge? There's two right feet in the way, but the hinge is right. Come on, don't focus on her feet. There, these golden yellowish hinges, you want to pivot on those, get it extended like this, and then you want to push it back down. But it might make it a little bit easier before you push it back down is to go ahead and rotate her bird head out, and then just go ahead and, come on, flip back up. I'm not ready to put you down quite yet. And just fully get that extended where it's now like this. And then you just tab this into place. Come on, it's not wanting to tab in quite the right place for whatever reason. Come on, it's supposed to tab in where it lines up flush with here, but for some reason it's not cooperating right this moment. Maybe it's okay. That's it. This is just rotated down a little too much, but of course you want to make sure everything's lined up. And then, as you can see, it tabs in here. One thing I did notice that's not on the actual toy, but it's on the instructions. It actually shows a little picture of a Maximal insignia. Maximal insignia, but it is not present on the toy, which is perfectly fine with me, because, you know, why would you want to have a Maximal insignia on the bird animal portion? Anyway, I'm going to flip down her shoulder guards, rotate her arms this way, then you want to bend at the lower arm, and then you want to tab or plug it in here until that kind of clicks into place in that little slot. And then same with the other arm, rotate, and then her Maximal insignias are on her forearms anyway. And you want to flip that, press down, get it into place like so, and there we are. Got her upper body done with her tail still up like that. Just go ahead and rotate around, and make sure it snaps into place, and then go ahead and get to work on her legs. Like I said, that's where they end up for her bird mode. But you go ahead and rotate her feet or knees around like so. Then you want to rotate her feet around. Then you want to bend here like that. Then you want to pivot down like this for her knees, which also explains why her knees are so articulated, so that you can get them for the bird mode. And then you rotate around like that. Make sure this peg plugs into that hole like so. There we are, like that. And then same with the other side. Get that plugged into place. Plug into place. Come on. There we are. And here we have Airazor in her hawk mode. I don't know if it's specifically red tail, because, you know, not red right here. But she is definitely a hawk, or predatory bird of some kind. And as you can see, she does have a significant improvement over the original one. I'll see if I can find a picture to put in the video. But as you can see, has a pretty decent bird mode. But the law of avian Transformers, the problem they have is that it's kind of hard to effectively hide all the robot bits in a way that actually looks good. Because as you can see, the body of the bird is like pretty wide. Like you normally expect it to stop right about here, not extend this far, and making like a plank. And of course, you can kind of see her at the back of her robot mode head, which isn't a big deal. But as you can see, she does stand up pretty well, and nice tail feathers. I mean, a very good figure. I definitely like it, but personally, I'm probably going to display her more in her robot mode. But articulation as far as bird mode is concerned, and before we go ahead and get articulation, let's take a look at that bird sculpt, or bird head sculpt. I don't believe you can move her. Oh, actually you can move her mouth. You can actually open and close the bird mouth, although you might want to make sure that you have decently long fingernails to do it, but you can open and close her mouth. And if you look at the eyes, they're black with a white ring around with a little bit of white painted on there to give it like a shine, make it look like actual eyes. And then the head can pivot down that far, which has come to some people like making like a bird robot hybrid with the bird head instead, although of course it's the robot mode's gonna look a little goofy with an opened up chest kind of. But and then the bird head can also rotate full 360. And then the legs, you can do a little bit with them. You can have the bird stand up a little. You can have her stand up a little bit more like that, although it does expose more of her robot underbelly. But you can kind of close up her wings a little bit, wrap them around her body, make it look like she's, perched somewhere, landed. Although it does look kind of goofy because she does look a little wider than a normal bird would be. But still, a lot better than, definitely a lot of improvements made over the original one from the pictures that I've seen. But articulation on the wings, definitely very versatile. You can go up like this. You don't want to necessarily do that because then you'd be practically breaking a real bird's wings probably. But you can do different poses. You can have her getting ready to take off, flapping her wings, gliding through the air. Do something like this. Although you kind of want to make sure everything's kind of lined up so it doesn't look a little too unnatural. Although it would be nice if you could tuck her bird feet in a little bit more, like a regular bird would, because it looks like she's kind of perpetually perching or trying to perch. But still, an excellent bird mode, very good bird mode. Let's see if I can kind of finagle a feet up in the air kind of thing. So I think this is about as good as you can probably get as far as making her in flight. But definitely very good figure. Definitely an improvement. Like I said, from what I've seen, because I've never owned the original Airazor, but definitely very good for the size, the price range. I mean, if the third party made this and made like a Masterpiece style, it'd be really expensive. Or if they ever make a Masterpiece Airazor, it's still probably would end up being very expensive, probably more fragile, but might have an amazing bird mode. I'm not sure at what point it would be worthwhile to try making the bird mode look absolutely, like an actual 100% bird, right proportions, everything. But anyway, no, it sounds like I'm ragging on her a little too much, but I really do love this bird mode. It is awesome, really cool. And I do like how you can tilt her head a little bit like a bird might, bird-like movements. Definitely love this figure. Definitely was looking forward to her. Found her and Huffer in the store about a week and a half ago. But finally was able to actually go ahead and review them. So, yeah. This is about it for Transformers Kingdom Airazor. And if you like this review and like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.